Hello folks, welcome to the in-stock lease deals of the month for January 2024. There aren't too many in stock at the moment, so not the longest of videos, but there are some great deals in here nonetheless. Use the link to LeaseLoco that's in the video description and pinned as a top comment if any of these appeal to you, or in fact if you just want to go and have a poke around on the site for yourself. It supports the channel and it's how I keep the lights on. All these deals are based on 3 months up front, 10,000 miles a year, 3-year deals. Again, do feel free to have a little poke around. Generally, in general terms, the deals I show you in this will still be the best deals around, even if you change the deposit amount, the annual mileage, the length of the contract, all that kind of stuff. More often than not, these will still be the best deals, even if you give them a little tweak. So we're going to start off with this one, which I think is great value. It's the Fiat 500 1 litre mild hybrid red edition. The red edition is sort of like a higher level of trim, and it comes with a lot actually. Up front on this one is 568 quid, and it's £189 a month, which I think is pretty decent value. 13.8 to 62, obviously it's just a little city car, 54 mpg, 70 brake horsepower, insurance group 9, 185 litres of boot space. Here's what they look like with my fat head in the way. You can get the convertible version for about 15 quid a month more at the moment, but there we go, stylish little cars. Average price on it's been 252 quid over the past 12 months. This time last year it was £290 a month. And then it's only really been under the current price once, and that was in November. It was 185 for about 10 minutes. Currently 189, which is one of the best prices we've seen it, and compares to that average of 252. So it's a great price just at the minute. Suzuki S-Cross next. I've talked about this one a lot in the past, so we won't dwell. At 240 quid a month, you're getting a hell of a lot of car for that much money. Up front on it, 722. If we just go to the price history, it's always a good value car in fairness. Average on it's 276. Currently 240. I mean, that's the lowest price we've seen it in the last 12 months. And again, it's exceptional value. It's a really, really good car that's overlooked by so many people, probably because it doesn't stand out, does it? It's just a car. You know, the design's nothing exceptional, but it's a very, very good car. 722 up front and 240 a month. Next, we've got the Vauxhall Crossland. This is the 1.2 turbo GS. 10.5 seconds to 62, 48 mpg, 110 horsepower, 410 litres. Never driven one of these, can't really tell you anything about it. Not the best looking car in the world, I wouldn't have said, but also probably not the worst. This one's the petrol manual in GS trim, but here's the story. Here's what's made it to today's video. Average price on it's been 336 quid a month. This time last year, it was 460 a month. Back in July, 449. August, 308. Currently, 248. It's quite a decent sized car for that kind of money, albeit perhaps not the most exciting thing on the block. If you just want a car with a decent amount of boot space that can lug the family around for a reasonable amount of money, 248 quid a month. The upfront is 744. The Nissan Duke has still got some deals floating around. The 1 litre 𝙇𝙄𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙍 N-connector DCT automatic. 11.8 to 62, 47 mpg, 422 litres of boot space. Only insurance group 12, which is pretty decent. Average price on it's been 287 quid a month. This time last year, £302 a month. Currently 254. That is a good price on what is a very popular car, especially with a certain demographic. Upfront payment on that one, by the way, 762 quid, and then you've got your 254 per month. Next, we've got the old favourite, the Nissan Qashqai 1.3 𝙇𝙄𝙉𝙉 mild hybrid Accenta Premium. These are always pretty decent value in fairness, but at the moment, especially so. £271 a month, and the upfront is 814 quid. 10.2 seconds to 62, 44.1 mpg, 122 mile an hour top speed, 140 horsepower, 504 litres of boot space, and again, only insurance group 12, which for this size of car is very, very good because it is quite a spacious family car, the Qashqai. I had one on a sort of extended loan, and I really enjoyed it, to be fair, sort of probably more than I thought I would. I had the hybrid at the time, and I actually think the petrol is the one to go for over the hybrid, because the hybrid system's a bit meh on the Nissan cars. And as you can see, the price is really consistent on these. The average over the last 12 months has been 291. This time last year, 290, currently 271. So it's not a huge saving, but when you look at a car where the pricing is that consistent, 20 quid a month is actually quite a big deal. So 814 up front, 271 a month gets you a Qashqai, and it's in stock, of course, because it's in this video. Next, got the Vauxhall Mokka 1.2 Turbo GS, 277 a month with 833 up front, 9.2 seconds to 62, 47.9 mpg, insurance group 19, 350 litres of boot space. I think the Mokka sells in the volumes it does because it's quite an interesting looking car. I actually really quite like the design of them. Haven't driven one, I must admit, but they are quite popular, aren't they? Price history on it. So this time last year, unbelievably, that was 557 quid a month. That's bananas. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would drop 557 quid a month on a Mokka, but there you go. Not all of us are in our right minds. 497 in July, and then really since September the pricing's come down, and actually sort of middle of December it was the lowest price we've ever seen it at 261 a month. Didn't last for long. Currently 277, which does look like decent value on that car. 277 with 833 up front. Next we've got the Renault Captur, and you might think, well, this is a smaller car than the last couple. Why is it more expensive? Well, it's the plug-in hybrid version. The 1.6 E-Tech plug-in hybrid, 160 Techno automatic, 261 litres of boot space, insurance group 16, 10.1 seconds to 62, 217 mpg is just daft. Obviously, these plug-in hybrid mpg figures are always just a nonsense. If you're running the thing on electricity alone, you're going to do very, very well out of it. If you're running it sort of combined, you're going to do well out of it. If you're running it just as a petrol, it's probably going to be a bit thirsty compared to a standard petrol. 292 quid, and the upfront payment is 878. Price history is interesting. This time last year, 488, and even like for quite a long stretch there, look, during the summer and sort of autumn, it was about 400 quid a month, 390 quid a month. Currently 292. The average price on it's been 381, so we're not far off 100 quid under the average for it over the last 12 months. Currently 292 with 878 up front. Next we've got the Hyundai Tucson, or the Tucson as some people call it. 1.6 TGDI Ultimate 2-wheel drive, 361 quid a month. This is the petrol manual, 10.3 seconds to 62, 41 mpg, 150 horsepower, insurance group 13, 620 litres of boot space. Average on it's been £392 a month. This time last year, 410 quid a month. At its peak, 428 at its peak. Currently 361 with 1100 up front. This is in ultimate trim, so this has got absolutely everything you could possibly want on it. The Tucson's a great car, nice thing to drive. It's got all your creature comforts in it, and to be honest, it's sort of all the car that most people could ever really need. In a nice package. Like, it is a nice thing, the Tucson. 361 a month, just under 1100 up front, and don't forget to use that link to LeaseLoco. It helps me. Next, we've got a car that's featured in quite a few videos recently. It's probably the one in this video that I would absolutely take because I love them. It's the 𝘾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙍 Estate, the TSI VRS DSG Automatic. This has got that perfect blend of performance and practicality. This is a family car that will give you plenty of thrills when you drive it. 6.7 seconds to 62, 39.7 mpg, 245 brake horsepower, 640 litres of boot space, and despite it being a big car with some really decent performance, it's only insurance group 27, so it's not going to kill you on the insurance. 378 quid a month with 1135 up front. Let's look at the price history. Over the last 12 months, it's averaged out at 424. For a really long period there, it was 411. It dipped to a silly price like a week ago. It was 287 quid. I guess that was a one-off cancelled order, because I certainly didn't see that for any extended period of time. As you know, the deals, especially the in-stock deals, come and go very, very quickly. So it could even be by the time you're watching this video, some of these deals have already gone or changed. It happens very, very quickly, especially on the in-stock stuff. So I would guess that was a one-off, probably a cancelled order. Someone just put it out at cost to get rid of it quickly. But certainly in the last 6 months, you wouldn't have got one for under 390 quid a month. Currently 378 with 1135 up front. That's a hell of a lot of car and a hell of a lot of performance for what is really quite sensible money. I'm not going to spend any time on this one, folks. This is the Suzuki A-Cross, 449 quid a month. 1349 up front. This is the plug-in hybrid, as you know from all the recent videos it's been in. It's probably been in every video since July. Average 586 a month, currently 449 with 1349 up front. As usual, today's video sponsor is car2cover, the place to go for things like gap insurance, scratch and dent insurance, etc. Please go to car2cover.co.uk. You get an instant quote online. Very, very simple. Just a handful of questions and you get your price. And if you give them a call on 01438 870 615 and say Jim10, they'll give you £10 off any price you're quoted online. Car2cover are specialist insurance brokers. They deal with a handful of different products and they are experts in them. I've got my own gap insurance with them for my Tesla, and I can't speak more highly than that, really. Go and check them out now, car2cover.co.uk. There's also a link in the video description. On to the EVs. We've only got 3 for you in this video. First one's the Nissan Leaf, 110 kilowatt end connector, 39 kilowatt hour, 168 miles of range on this one, 150 horsepower, insurance group 24 and 435 litres of boot space. Average price on it's been £325 a month. This time last year it was 357. 420 in June. The lowest price we've seen it in the last 12 months, about 90p less than it is now. But for the longest time, it's been well over 300 quid a month. Currently 257 a month with 773 up front. Decent value. Next, we've got the Toyota BZ4X. This is the 150 kilowatt motion, 71 kilowatt hour, 310 miles of range, 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 36 and 452 litres of boot space. Here is the BZ4X, certainly an interesting looking vehicle. These get slagged off something rotten in the comments. A lot of the reason for that is the price they're charging for it and the product you're getting. So they put this up against some fantastic cars when you sort of compare price to price. And as someone who reviews cars, that's a big part of it. Like, this car is more expensive to buy new than a Tesla Model 3. Which one are you going to have? You're going to have the Tesla. And then you start looking at some of the other cars that are available for similar sort of money in what is a very crowded segment, that sort of mid-size EV. So when they were charging £1,000 a month for one, which they were this time last year, or £900 a month, you just say, why on earth are you going to buy that? You know, I've got 10 cars I'd have over that. At 429 quid a month, it's a very, very different story. It starts to look like a much better car instantly because we're comparing it against cars that are 400 quid a month at this point. This one, the upfront payment on it is 1,288, 429 a month. The average on it's been £647 a month over the last year. For an incredibly long period, you could get one for about 539. But as I said, sort of earlier in the year, they were silly money, like really crazy money. At the moment, at 1,288 up front and 429 a month, that's actually a really quite tempting EV proposition. Certainly far more so than it has been in the past. So all I can say is, if you're on the fence about one, go and test drive one first. But at the moment, this is a very good deal. And finally, this month, we've got a stonking deal on the VW ID.5. This is the Tech Pro 77 kilowatt hour, £478 a month with an upfront of 1,435, 326 miles of range, 174 horsepower, insurance group 28 and 549 litres of boot space. And look at this. The average price on it's been 639 quid. At its peak, 747. This is the lowest price we've seen in the last 12 months. Even last month, it would have cost you 492 a month. Go back to July and you would have paid 655 a month. So at the moment, this is very, very good value. A nice practical EV with a decent range that should be enough for most people. It's got the annoying slidey things to control your volume and aircon with, but luckily the voice controls work very, very well, so that needn't bother you too much, I hope. At just under $480 a month and less than $1,500 up front, again, it might be the time to think about one. Thanks ever so much for watching this video, folks. Please don't forget to use that link to LeaseLoco, and please support my sponsors, 𝘾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙆. They're all lovely people. LeaseLoco and 𝘾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙆, and they both help me to keep doing these videos for you, which I know a lot of you get a lot of value from. And please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Not enough people do it, and it really affects the amount that YouTube promotes my videos. So a thumbs up and a comment goes a long way to help me, and obviously subscriptions as well. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. If you are subscribed, please click the notification bell so you get a notification from YouTube every time I release a new video. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one.